Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. Today I am going to be racing here in Jerez with Pecco Bagnaia to talk about my predictions for the Spanish GP. So here we go then, guys and girls. We're going to be starting from the back of the grid. We're going to be using power setting 1 against the hardest difficulty artificial intelligence in the game, and that is 120%. So let's see how things crack on here in the Spanish GP. But when we get that moment to talk, I do want to discuss the Spanish GP and some predictions for the early stages of the weekend. Of course, I'm recording this Tuesday, so I don't know any of the press conference. I don't know any of the conversations we've had over the weekend, and of course I don't know how practice is going to go by the time this video is uploaded, so I could be completely wrong by the time you're watching this now. But what I can tell you is my initial thoughts and predictions going into the Spanish GP. And as I say, the man on screen right now had a stunning Qatar. Not been as great as we would have thought going into the likes of Portimao and then into Austin, Texas. Portimao, the collision with Marc Marquez, bit of scrutiny amongst himself, Ducati, and of course Marc Marquez. So it wasn't quite the start I anticipated from the double MotoGP World Champion. But I've got to say, it does seem that Pecco has these moments where things don't look quite right, and then he'll start to really get into the rhythm and groove. Now, of course, already last time out in the Austin circuit of Texas, Pecco was excellent in the Friday's practice. He even called it one of his best Fridays ever in MotoGP. So now taking that and not having the best of races in Austin, he definitely looked like one of the weaker Ducatis on board the GP24. So as far as I'm concerned, he's got to bounce back, otherwise that momentum could get in his way, and he might not have the gall and the gumption to continue pushing at the circuits he is best known as. Now, of course, he has this terrific record here in Jerez. Even in his first time out, I think, which was 2020, up in second place, fighting for an excellent podium position in Andalusia until his engine went kaput. Now, the Ducatis have been strong here for the past couple of years, victorious with Miller, victorious with Bagnaia. It's a great bike, it's a great team, and it's a great track for it all to come together. So I do strongly feel that Pecco Bagnaia this weekend, providing he doesn't make a mistake into the Pedrosa corner like I've just done, will be standing on the top step of either the sprint or the race. Now, he's more of the racing kind of guy. Of course, Saturdays don't always go perfectly well for Pecco, but we'll see. I definitely feel that Pecco's going to have a great weekend this time out in the Spanish GP. Now, of course, we have to look at the other Ducatis as well, but there's someone I want to jump towards first, because I'm hearing a lot, and I've heard a lot already, is the brilliance of Pedro Acosta. Now, I was watching World Superbike the weekend in Assen, and they class Toprak Razgatlioglu as one of the legends of World Superbike in the same context as we treat Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta. Now, Pedro Acosta is fantastic, but he is not a MotoGP legend yet. I think that's a little bit too high of a praise for the man who's having one of the best starts in MotoGP. He's absolutely amazing. Moto3 World Champion, Moto2 World Champion, soon to be a MotoGP race winner, back-to-back youngest ever MotoGP podium finisher. He's terrific, he really is, but let's just come back a little bit. If this weekend is the weekend for Pedro Acosta to get on the top step, then it's going to be probably curtains for the rest of the season. He could have the momentum and he could be absolutely amazing. But until that happens, I'm not getting on the hype train just yet. Because, yes, Acosta is incredible, he's absolutely amazing, he's a wonderful talent and a great personality to have in the sport as well. But there's one comparison I wanted to bring forward to you guys, because I think we just miss out a little bit of something when we look at current modern day MotoGP riders compared to some of yesteryears. Now, Pedro Acosta is having a terrific start, yes he is, but his start is probably on par with the way Jorge Lorenzo started on board the Yamaha back in 2008. Started with a second place in Qatar, third in Spain, first in which would have been Estoril at the time, and then fourth in the Chinese GP. So, as far as I'm concerned, this weekend Pedro Acosta's got to win or finish on the podium again to have a better start than Jorge Lorenzo from 2008, or even a better start than Marc Marquez. I think it can be done, and this is a circuit that really goes well for the KTMs. RC16s of the gas and the KTM, doesn't really matter which one they have. Either or could be featuring well up there at the front. Cast your minds back to last season, double podium for Jack Miller and Brad Binder. Pedro Acosta is looking to be the top KTM man at the minute. Would like to see Brad Binder step in and say, hang on, I'm the one who's doing all the graft. And then Danny Pedrosa, of course, will be back this year as well. But to be honest, I definitely foresee something happening with KTM this weekend. Either it's Pedro Acosta who's up there right at the front, or it's Brad Binder and Jack Miller getting in there, getting stuck in and fighting around the circuit of Jerez. Now, just wanted to make that little bit of conversation brew here, because I'm really keen to talk about the likes of the newcomers and Pedro Acosta, etc. But sometimes you just got to reel it back in a little bit. He's incredible, he is absolutely amazing, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. I know I sound like a hater, but it has to be put into context, it really does. So for me, I'm going to put some pressure on Pedro Acosta this weekend and say either finish on the podium or win to have a better start than some of the legendary Spanish peers over MotoGP's history. Just putting that out there. I hope on Sunday we could be talking about it in the Discord server, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's won, and I hope he's had a better start than any of those riders mentioned. But it was something worth bringing up for the context of a conversation. But anyway, let's move on from hypotheticals and looking at the past and present and comparing them both. I would like to see a little bit of a resurgence here as well from Franco Morbidelli. Morbidelli's a good rider, has been good in Jerez in the past, but he did alright in the Circuit of the Americas. Of course, crashed out of the race, didn't really have the best of weekends in total, but compared to what he's been having with the Yamaha, I would say it's a step up for him. Getting used to the Ducati GP24, 24 is going to take some time, and I think he's looking good. So I'm going to keep an eye on Franco this weekend as well. I really want to see him bounce back. And with all the talk of Pramac possibly moving over to Yamaha, will Franco find himself back on a Yamaha next season? I don't know, but there's a lot of speculation about that. So a quick segue to discuss about Pramac and the future for them. Jorge Martin apparently is already gone. He's on his way, foot through the door, possibly joining the likes of Aprilia or possibly even the factory Ducati team. It's all up in arms, and it all depends on him and this man's teammate right here, Enea Bastianini. What are they going to do? Bastianini's had a credible, not incredible, but he's had a great season so far. Finished on the podium numerous times and has been downright competitive with a pole position in there as well. So as far as I'm concerned, it must be damn near impossible to choose between Jorge Martin and Enea Bastianini for the future. Enea and Pecco get on better than they do with Martin and Bagnaia, so I wouldn't really want to break the equilibrium of Ducati by including Martin. But at the same time, if Jorge Martin is going to be your biggest rival, then why not get him on your bike and then have him win with you? There's a lot of questions and not really an answer there, so I don't know. There's a lot of parity in MotoGP at the moment, and I'm excited to see what the outcome will be. But I'm also going to speak about a Spaniard as well, a certain Marc Marquez. I've already been told that Marquez will win the MotoGP World Championship this year. I still don't think that's going to happen. But if there's a track to get back on track and get back to winning ways, it would have been Austin. And unfortunately for Marquez, that didn't quite work out. And I do fear, and I feel like we're going to get some backlash when I say this, but this is not the Marc Marquez from 2019. This is a newer, older, recovering Marc Marquez from a lot of years wasted through injuries, which of course no fault of his own. The Honda tried to kill him. But I don't think we're going to see Marquez just dominate the races like we're expecting. At least many are expecting. This weekend is going to be one of those ones where I think it'll tell us a lot about Marc Marquez. He could come out absolutely flying, or he might take a while to get grips to the Ducati. He's still not quite fully grasped it. Don't forget, this man has been riding on a Honda for 11 years. It's the first time he's tried something new, and the first time in more than a decade. So we've got to expect that it's going to have its teething problems, and it's going to take some time for Marquez to get back to the top step that people desperately want to see. But I do strongly feel that this is the weekend which is going to be well for Mark. Providing there's no mistakes, there's no crashes, there's no reason I can't see him on the podium. So I'm really looking at Pecco Bagnaia to bounce back and take the victory. Acosta, the KTMs, all infighting for those podium positions. Hopefully Jack doesn't make a crazy tyre choice and go backwards in the race. And I do feel we'll see the likes of Marquez, Martin and Bastianini all up the front. And to be honest, I've not even begun to discuss probably the best best package in MotoGP right now, and that's the Aprilia. The RSGP looks absolutely unbeatable in the Circuit of the Americas. And I guess it's not just the Aprilia, it's a certain man on it. Number 12, Maverick Vinales. Where's he going to be up in the front end? Is he going to be up there dominating? We haven't seen an Aprilia win here in Jerez, but I could be wrong. We've never seen an Aprilia win in America. I could be wrong, but I don't know what it is, but I just feel things are going to calm down a bit with Aprilia. I feel like Maverick Vinales is a very hot rider in the sense of he gets hot quick and he gets really fast with the motivation when he's happy, when he's positive, and that momentum's there. But the second there's a bit of weaknesses creep up and maybe the bike's not running too well, then he falls off a cliff. Didn't see that in Kota, but you never know. History has a way of repeating itself, so we don't know yet. But as I say, these are all predictions. These are all just the thoughts that go in my mind every weekend before watching MotoGP. I am privileged to be in a situation to watch it and to enjoy it live, so I'll definitely look forward to that. But guys, more importantly, let me know your opinions. What do you think's going to happen this weekend? If you're at to name your top 3 guys on the podium, who's it going to be? Do you agree with what I've said so far, or do you think I'm absolutely wrong? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'm just trying to squeeze in as many thoughts as I possibly can within 9 laps of the Jerez GP. I've got to start making these longer, I think, because I can't really get everything in that I want to say, but at the same time I don't want to just waffle. I don't want to just keep on repeating the same things over and over again. But there's still a lot of things to talk about, not really got much time left to discuss it. I would really like to see, fingers toes crossed, I'd love to see Marco Bezzecchi back up the front. I don't think he's quite got the grips of the GP23 yet. It did take Pecco a while, it took Enea Bastianini a while as well. I hope they figure it out. For Bez, he's not able to brake where he wants to brake. He can't have the same straight line braking that he's been doing. A lot of it requires Pecco's riding style, where you lean on the side of the tyre then brake turning in. Prime example would be the Lorenzo corner. You look at Pecco, he goes practically sideways into there sometimes. So really keen to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to see, and to be honest, I think I'm just going to double down on my predictions and say that's what I'm going to say. Pecco, one of the KTMs, and possibly Marc Marquez up there as well. Knowing my little Jorge Martin is probably just going to turn up and just decimate everyone. Which is still not a bad thing. I hope Maverick Vinales gets up to the front. I hope he can show his mettle once again like he did in Kota, because that was a stunning ride. Absolutely terrific. Really, really impressive ride from Maverick Vinales. And I think that being the first rider to win on 3 motorcycles in the modern MotoGP era is something never to take lightly. Think of the amount of riders who have had that opportunity and failed to succeed. The likes of Jorge Lorenzo, Valentino Rossi. There's incredible riders who you think could have done it, but didn't. And yet Maverick Vinales did. Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda. Can't wait to see if we get anything close than that. And I'll tell you what, if that Yamaha improves, I understand they're going to have a fresh Yamaha this weekend, or for the testing which is coming up after the weekend. I would love to see Alex Rins win again. Really, really would. I kind of had a little bit of hope that he would win in Kota again, but unfortunately that didn't actually materialise this year round. But what I will tell you now, keep an eye out for Phillip Island, you never know. But yep, that's it from me. I think that's everything I want to discuss. There's probably a lot more, but I'd probably have to save it for the comment section down below, or alternatively in our Discord server. And in fact, something I've not even mentioned, which is probably the most important part, there could be rain this weekend, not for the race, but for the practice. So we could very likely see some riders who don't belong in Q1 in there and vice versa for Q2. I'll leave that for you guys. Food for thought. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you tomorrow for more videos. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.